Okay, hello everybody. It's your one, Mama Michaela, and today I've got a commentary video. Something has really just been crawling under my skin, and I really feel the need to talk about it. So, I made a video before, my Irish American video, where I explain my background. So, I explained that I grew up with immigrant grandparents. Even though my paternal grandmother grew up in a primarily English-speaking country, thanks to the English, she spoke with an accent because she's from Ireland, and my maternal grandmother's first language is Spanish, so she speaks with a thick accent. Although both accents provided curiosity at times to outsiders, it also provided moments of ignorance. And intention of that ignorance is not what I care about. As harsh as that may sound. It still sounds ignorant even if you think something is cute or amusing. Doesn't matter how good your intentions were. These were moments where one of my grandmothers, because I'm very close to them, they're treated like a piece of entertainment as opposed to just a person who happens to speak English with an accent. So when Hilary Baldwin, because I'm going to say Hilary except for one part of this video, when Hilary Baldwin comes in from
Boston
with a fake Spanish accent and fabricates her background, I get a little annoyed. First of all, I want to address, I am aware that in certain environments, accents come out, if that makes sense. So, for example, me living in Ireland, sometimes when I go out and I'm obviously interacting with Irish people, my tone of voice changes. I wouldn't speak like this when I left the house if I was trying to blend into my environment. And sometimes that is totally not intentional. It can go back to the traits that we have as human beings for community and survival, where we kind of want to be like the other people around us. So would I slip into a Dublin accent? No, but my tone would change and my voice would become more light and a little maybe more rhythmic than my normal speaking voice, which can be very flat. And so I do understand there's that chameleon effect that is sometimes, we cannot help. However, when you, again, come from
Boston
and hit me with, what's that called in English?
We have tomatoes, we have how do you say it? Cucumbers.
I moved here when I was 19 to go to NYU.
And
from my family lives in Spain. They live in Mallorca.
Okay.
You can just trade in your next red carpet gown for a trash bag because you belong in the bin. Now, if Hilary were in Spain, speaking Spanish all day in the environment, and all of a sudden transitioned into English, I would understand. And as someone who is bilingual on a good day, sometimes I struggle, I understand that certain words can be read in Spanish if they're also in English. But the accent part, to intentionally go onto a talk show and speak right off the bat in that cutesy little accent, nah. I have met so many people who do not have English as a first language and obviously speak with an accent, and not obviously, some people don't, but majority, the people that I have come across speak with an accent, and they're ridiculed for it, and I've witnessed this before, and it is actually really upsetting to see somebody speaking perfect English just with an accent be ridiculed for the way that they speak. I've heard friends and work colleagues say that they want to change their accent. At the end of the day, you should never be embarrassed of your accent. So that's just my opinion though. I don't have to live with it. Wrapping this all back into Hilary. What does it have to do with her? Let me tell you. Hilary was born and partially raised, from what we can gather so far, in a primarily English-speaking country. Her parents are American, and she even admits that she was back and forth between the US and Spain. Honestly, I've watched the interviews, I've read the articles, I can't really tell how much time she spent in Spain versus the US, but it seemed like a comparable amount of time in each place. Now, she just happened to be somebody who spoke perfect English and perfect Spanish, and just happened to be in Spain a lot. And my issue with that is that there are people who are, actually from Spain, born and raised, who have to go through the trials of learning English as a second language at different stages in their life. Let's say perhaps they're an adult and they have to learn English. That's many people's situation because they're moving to somewhere like the UK or the US or to Ireland or Australia, Canada, and they need to learn English. They don't have a choice in the accent they speak in. And Hilary is choosing to put on this accent to be different.
Okay.
I want to make it clear that people with accents are not always ridiculed. I'm not trying to victimize anybody. I'm certainly not trying to be a spokesperson for a group of people. I'm not trying to be a savior. I'm just speaking from what I see and what I perceive. And growing up around grandparents who have accents and having to go out and about in a primarily English-speaking country. What I'm saying is that Hilary chooses to show up with this accent and goes, tee-hee, I'm so cute. People really like it when I talk like this. It's so cute. I'm so different. It's very performative, and dare I say, it's a really repulsive way to try and make her look, I have trouble getting the word out. It's a really great way to make her look exotic. I hate that word. To be very clear, no one is attacking Hilary because she's bilingual. Because whoop-de-frickin-do, Hill, a lot of people are bilingual and some are multilingual. So literally no one would attack anybody for that. People are not bored with their lives and attacking Hilary because of quarantine. Hilary sounds bored with her life and therefore she has to fabricate pieces of it. I will give credit to one thing that Hilary has said. She says that she responds to both Hilary and Hilaria. Although I've never heard the name Hilaria, I'm not going to say for sure if it is or not because I grew up in a primarily English-speaking country, but I will respond to Michaela and Micaela. So I understand that. The thing is, I feel like someone can be proud of how they were raised. She can still be very proud and should be of being exposed to Spanish culture because it is a beautiful culture. I love Spain. She can still be proud and not create a caricature of the accent when it suits her or her husband, who actually seems to really enjoy kind of mocking Spanish accents. From what I've seen.
Taking you back to Spain. Ay, ay, ay. There was no pleasing you.
Pablo Escobar's wife gets hit on all day long. Look at her. Look at her.
I say to my son, no muerdas.
Te muerde.
He bite me.
And it's pretty gross. Now, accent bias, is the title of this video, is a real thing, and I don't want it to be misunderstood. Accent bias can happen anywhere, and accent bias is obviously having bias on somebody because of their accent, and I think a brilliant way to illustrate that, accent bias doesn't need to happen or doesn't always happen when somebody is from a different country speaking English, for example, with a non-English accent. Just as an American, being from the United States, there's accent bias just up and down the East Coast. And what comes to mind for me, being raised in the South, born in the Northeast, the stereotype is that many Northerners will think that a Southern person is less educated or poorly educated because of the way that they speak with their accents. And there is that inherent bias there. There's that inherent, oh, that person must be kind of dumb because they speak that way, and that is 100% not the case and does not help bring any sort of positive change to the South. I also find it very funny that Northerners love making fun of Southerners, but will transplant down for the good weather and the colleges. Very interesting. All jokes aside, this conversation about Hilary Baldwin, it just got me thinking about accent bias and how it seems to be a fun game for her and maybe some other people, but it's sometimes a struggle for others, and it's sometimes something that people want to change about themselves. And the privilege of being Hilary Baldwin is that you can go ahead and pull your accent out of a hat whenever you want, and no one's gonna really say anything except for your husband, because he likes to make fun of that. But anyway, If you guys have any thoughts on accent bias or anything else to do with this situation, I would absolutely love to hear what you have to say. This is a very interesting topic to me. I really like doing commentary videos. This is something that I'd like to get more accustomed to on my channel. And this one I think was the perfect way to start because it was something that struck home as the granddaughter of immigrants, and I'm sure that the children and other grandchildren of immigrants can relate to what I am saying. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.